Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contracts, service is month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Entertainment Podcast, your source for all things entertainment. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram on Ask Adam Torres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Tiarrá on the line, and she's a singer-songwriter. Tiarrá, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Adam.
All right, so I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about your work. We're going to talk about Batter Up. We're also going to talk about digital love. So I'm excited to get into these projects, both the songs and the videos you have coming up or that are already out for one. But before we do that, I'd like to go a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started as a singer-songwriter?
Nice. So actually, I'm a newer singer. I sung when I was younger, but it's actually I've gotten back into singing in the last 2 to 3 years. And that actually happened after a major breakup, and I ended up getting really sick. I actually got Lyme disease, and in the process of recovering and healing from that, I discovered my voice. Something about music is very healing. And in the recovery process, just these songs started coming to me, and I just started singing them and putting it down. And as I got stronger, I decided, hey, why not go to the studio? And so that was how Batter Up was created, and that was my first song that I actually recorded in the studio.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing, and I love the way you said that. I found my voice. I don't know if that was pun intended or not, but I'm like, that's amazing, and I love that you also, you took what many would perceive as, really hardship because it's very painful in what you've gone through, and I know it's not an easy thing. And you took it and you chose to make that into a positive in your life. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Oh, yes. It's just something that organically happened. I think it was just following what I needed to do to heal myself. I'm actually a doctor, a family physician by training, and it's interesting. Like, instead of looking for medication, things to help heal me, I really just got in tune with what was missing, and through that process, I was able to find music again. It's something that poetry and writing and songwriting has actually always kind of been a part of my life and my expression. But actually, like, having that come out of my mouth and listening to my voice was something I wasn't as comfortable with. But it was just like in that process of having to release pain and release negative energy that I was able to really just blossom, and Tiarrá was born.
Wow, absolutely amazing. So let's get into some of your songs. So first off, Batter Up. So what was the inspiration behind this?
Yes. So I actually wrote Batter Up in 2018, and at the time it was during the midterm elections, and I was watching a lot of CNN, Fox, MSNBC, and just seeing that there was all of this discussion that was happening around, a lot of it seemed meaningless, that's what I would say. It was very important topics, but the way in which it was being discussed, particularly with the politicians, I felt was not really resulting in actions. At that time, it was the height of the Me Too movement, and also Black Lives Matter was starting to build momentum. And so I wrote Batter Up as a reminder to us as individuals and as a community and as a population to hold those who are responsible for governing us responsible and accountable accountable for our well-being. And I felt very disgruntled with the current administration, or the administration at that time, which continues to be the administration politically. And so I always wanted people to batter up. Like, if you see something that you don't like, it's important for us to say something about it. It's important for us to take strides in order to change the world that we live in. And so that was my motivation for that song.
Man, that's awesome. And then, and so is this one having a video with it, or are you shooting the video? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I recorded the song for Batter Up in 2018 and put it out, but and then shortly after I created a video, but I wasn't ready to put the video out. And so actually I just put the video out for Batter Up in March of this year. And some of my friends and my family knew that I had shot the Batter Up video. And they were calling me. They said,
they're like, hey, so when can we see the video? Like, for real though.
Right, when is the video coming out? Because my brother called me and another friend. They said, if you don't drop the video now, then like this is the time that we need it. Like, people need to see this. People need to understand. People need to connect. Like, this is the time where your voice and the imagery that you put behind the song and the lyrics, like, we need to see it. So then I just, like, prayed. I'm like, it's time. So I dropped the video, and it's actually done very well. And actually was featured at the Miami-Dade Democratic Convention a month ago. So
wow.
It's gotten, like, good press. Yeah, I'm excited. It got really good press.
That's absolutely amazing.
Thanks. I'm really proud of it. Yeah. So you can find Batter Up. Check out the video. And it's available on YouTube, the video.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. And let's talk about your other song, so Digital Love. So tell me a little bit more about this one.
Yes. So I dropped Digital Love at the beginning of this month, the song itself. So it's available on all streaming platforms. And the video will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. But Digital Love is really about us being disconnected. And especially now we can kind of understand that COVID has required us to be in our own silos in our houses, and we're trying to find ways to connect with each other. But even before then, particularly the online dating world, et cetera, there's all these opportunities to potentially connect, but then there are these misses that happen. So a lot of things are happening at the superficial level. So Digital Love is about that. Sometimes I feel like people are more comfortable talking to Siri and asking Siri a question as opposed to being around, a person or connecting to a person. So Digital Love gets at that. Let's be connected in this digital world.
Oh wow, that's amazing, and what a great concept. And it's interesting that you say that, because I also host a tech podcast, and now that you say that, top of mind, I don't remember these stats verbatim, but I know that they project that at some point it's possible we're going to talk more to machines than to humans. That's just going to happen at some point. And it makes sense to me, though, because if you think about it, you might have 10 different machines or things or whatever, one thing that you're talking to all day to get some work done, and you might not talk to other people until you get home, or you might only have a couple phone calls or this or that. And I'm like, oh man, you know what? That's crazy. That's true.
Who did I talk to today? Who did I beat today? Who did I touch today?
Siri, Google Maps. I talked to Google Maps. I talked to Siri, Alexa. Those don't count. Those are my friends. What are you talking about?
Right. So the catchphrase in Digital Love is, Siri, do you love me? So that's what the song is.
Wow.
But yeah, I have come to understand my music as conscious pop. That there's conscious hip hop, but my songs are catchy, and there's something I can actually hear all over the radio. That's my goal. That's what I want to hear. But it gets people to move, but also think. It's meant to be something that gets you to think, and maybe based on your thoughts about it, maybe people will take action in something that possibly benefits them and the people around them.
That's amazing. So that being said, so if somebody's listening to this and they wanna hear your music, where do they go? Tell us a little bit more about that, or watch the video.
Well, you can find my music, Batter Up and Digital Love. Those are my two songs that I have now, and I have more songs coming out, so stay tuned. But you can find them on streaming platforms, so Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, everywhere. And then YouTube is where you can find the video for Batter Up, and then Digital Love video is coming out very soon, so people can check that out.
Fantastic. Well, I have to say it's been an honor to have you on the show today, and I'm so excited to see your career just grow and blossom. And congratulations on having that on having your song featured. I mean, that was amazing. Like, that's a big deal. So I know that there's a lot of hard work into this, and it's not an easy thing to do to get your voice out there and to get heard. So it's a pleasure to bring your work to my audience one more time, just because I feel like the first time they weren't able to get their pen ready or anything else like that. What's the best way for people to listen to the music? Like, how do they find it?
So you can find, I actually have a website, so www.tiarra.com, or you can find me on Instagram at Tiarrá, and Facebook, and then again, all streaming platforms you can find Tiarrá, V.Tiarrá.
Fantastic. Well, really it's been a pleasure having you on the show. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Entertainment, definitely give us a subscribe there. But also leave us some comments on the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And thanks again for coming on the show, Tiarrá. It's been awesome having you on.
Thanks so much, Adam. Take care.